Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Hands on a Radio, where we look at inexpensive shortwave radios, and I don't know how much longer I can say that, because we've looked at about all the inexpensive ones, and now this is scraping the barrel. This is the last inexpensive shortwave radio that I got. I've had it for over a year, right at a year I suppose, September 17, yeah, something like that. Got it off eBay for $14.20 with free shipping. Why, Two Hands, why have you sat on this thing for a year? Is it that special? Is it that magnificent that it will be a complete showstopper? Nope. I just sat on it for a year because I didn't like it all that well. After I looked at it, I thought, what's the purpose of it? And but let's dive into it, because maybe there is a purpose. I don't know. It's not all bad. I guess after a year, maybe I mellow out a little bit. It's the Audiomax SRW-810 from eBay, $14.20. Everybody says, Two Hands, it's a TIV-DO V115. It's exactly like it. Nope, it's not. Completely different. Not even apples to oranges comparison. It's more like comparing apples to Toyota Priuses. Completely different. Looks like it, feels like it, sounds like it, but it's a whole different animal under the hood. Anyway, let's get into this thing. We may do things a little differently, and while it searches for shortwave, we may chit-chat at that point. Here's our dear radio. Very cute little radio, actually. I like the color scheme on it, kind of the lighter, it's a gray, light gray and black. Kind of neat looking. We've got a charging cable inside the box, which I left at the house after I charged the battery up. We do have English and Chinese instructions, which that's handy. We'll get that off to the side. And that's about where it all starts to fall short. The reason I've skipped this for so long is the AM medium wave broadcast band, whatever you want to call it, is only 9 kilohertz. There is no 10 kilohertz for the U.S. So this would be handy for everybody but the U.S. That's probably the biggest, just kind of turns me off right there when you can't change that. There's also no English language setting. On the TIV-DO V115, you could go into a language setting in the menu, and you could thumb through different, 4 or 5 different languages, whatever it was. But you could set it to English, so you could kind of see what you're doing. This is just Chinese, and that's it. It's okay today, you know. And I think we've muddled blindly through enough of these radios that it's not all bad. It's 4 3/4 inches by 3 inches tall, 7/8 inches thick, has a 15.5 inch antenna. The front end has a speaker very similar looking to the TIV-DO V115, and that's where it all changes. The display is a lot smaller on this one than the V115. Button layout completely different again. We have a mode button and a lock button, which is kind of fun because you think you're going to the MP3 player part, and then you actually lock it all up, and that's exciting. Record button, it does record just like the V115. It has a built-in mic that you can record radio, or you can record yourself, kind of handy. Direct entry keypad. Our band selector switch here, shortwave and FM and AM. I believe we have volume down here. Tuning, all we got is a button, up and down button. That's how we get around. We have a play button for the MP3 player, and a repeat button for the MP3 section, and a power button. It's about all we got. Over on the right hand side, we've got a headphone jack. I don't know if it's stereo or not. I kind of have my doubts. Line in, which is kind of interesting. We can talk about that momentarily. Our mini SD, what do I, man, why when this thing records, when the light flashes red, when the on-air sign goes on, I absolutely freeze up at times. The mini SD card thing, it says their TF card, whatever. Anyway, card, your memory card, USB port there to charge an internal battery. Another big difference in this is this battery is a 600 milliamp battery. The TIVDO V115 is a 1000 milliamp battery, meaning you get better battery life out of the TIVDO or shorter battery life out of this, whichever way you want to look at it. Does have the rubber diaphragm back there for a little added bass. So there are some similarities. And of course we have the handy wrist strap that to make you keep the wrist strap on, they put this little chip, and this chip goes in the back side. Well, it can go there. I've always put it right here in this slot, but actually it goes up here. I think it holds it up higher. And it'll hold the radio at an angle so you can kind of see it on your desk. Kind of nice. Anyway, let's dive into this. AM's going to be nothing. At 9 kilohertz here, we're not going to get anything. But you say, with two hands, you're losing your mind. All you have to do is enter direct entry keypad. Don't work. If I enter in, like my home station, see what it says, welcome in English, and then that's as far as it goes. 333. If we go to medium wave, and if I enter in, it just, nope, you're not going there. But I can go every 9 kilohertz, and I might find a magical station someplace that it lines up just right. 720 be about it, I think. Maybe there's a couple out of all that mess. Anyway, I'm not a mathematician, so I'm not going to try to figure that all out. FM, you've already heard, is fantastic.
You, wherever you are, on your desktop, laptop, smartphone, tablet, or
just like the TIVDO, it's got a great audio.
You need it when you want it. Check us out at therepublic.com/apps if you're a subscriber.
False planting of evidence, investigation of the Trump.
When you have the former president refer to it as a conspiracy theory, and when you have
I'm just trying to pick different talk stations on FM because I really don't want to get around the music end of it. YouTube just gets too ugly anymore over it. Hopefully you can see the display screen that, yeah, it's not all bad. Let's go to shortwave quickly. And this is the part that as it scans, I have to kind of fill in with dead air, so I thought we'd talk about the radio. There we go. Starts out at 4750. We hit our magical button and it starts to scan, and it'll stop when it finds something, so we're just going to talk while it scans. Does a continuous scan, which is nice. It goes up to about 21,750, 21 something. We'll call it 22 megahertz is about as far as it's going to go. So it doesn't have the greatest range, but it is continuous, so that's kind of cool. And by continuous, I mean it doesn't just sit there in one band and circulate until you go to the next band and then it circulates around. This just kind of rolls with whatever it's got, but it is kind of slow. I don't know, I think the TIVDO V115 might be a little faster on the scan. Don't know, really not going to set them up side by side just to see. Don't know if it's worth that exercise or not. 14 bucks, you know, wherever you want to go. If you can do away without the AM broadcast, see if it finds something here for us. I think it puts, whatever it finds, it puts in a temporary little memory slot that we can bang around through. We'll see if I can get through that without too much trouble. Shouldn't be too hard, I think. Where was I headed with all that? TIV-DO, blah, 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 this and that, Toyota Prius. Now my train of thought got derailed. If you can, now I remember, boy, I pulled her right back onto the tracks. If you can do without AM broadcast, if you're just like, I just want a little shortwave radio just to lumber around in, then this is not all bad. It'd be a cheaper solution than the TIV-DO V115. That thing, the price is starting to go up on that, probably thanks to me and Todderbert and Hamrat88 and a whole bunch of other people that review it and talk about how great it is. Official shortwave channel. Get tangled up. See what happens when the red light comes on? The on-air sign glows, and I freeze up. I don't know what it is. My memory is just gone. Perhaps I have too much on my mind. Anyway, but and I'm sure as the swling.com page had a thing on it, and rave reviews, and the more positive reviews it gets, the price will probably go up. And so it's found a few things already we'll look at here momentarily. I don't know, what was that? What's that one quote I've heard a long time ago, that if something sells, if you sell a lot of something, raise the price. If you don't sell a lot of something, raise the price. So I think that's the business model they're trying to follow. It actually makes a lot of sense, because people look at things and say, $14, that's too cheap. And so you raise the price. And while this scans, now I know what I want to talk about. Eaton Mini, or Eton, or Eton, however you want to pronounce it, the Eaton Mini. The little itty bitty radio that we reviewed, a few weeks back, and absolutely loved the radio, and I still sent it back because I didn't like the display on it. And that was the kicker of the whole thing. Loved the radio, hated the display, sent it back. Couple of comments that, we think you had a defective display. I think there's a lot of defective displays out there because there's a lot of bad comments about it. But I digress. But I sent it back and just regretted sending it back. I've had such buyer's remorse, and because it was a great little radio, and it's like, it's like this. I don't need English. I can bumble my way around, and I can find what I'm doing. I don't need a display on that radio. I can figure it out. If I wanted to listen to shortwave, AM, FM, whatever, kind of get it set and then just go walk or whatever. And I really don't need a display. And I think I even showed that in the video, that I turned it around so I couldn't see the display, and yet I was operating the buttons and things and doing stuff. But I sent it back. Just like a good soldier, I sent it back, and I told myself I'll buy something else that'll be nicer or whatever. And long story short, as we're rapidly approaching the end of this scan, got a thing yesterday from Amazon. The price I got it at was $30. Normally, the list on it's $44. It's always been about $35 on Amazon. Amazon dropped it to $30, and I bid into it. I said, I think I'll get one. That's the one I sent back. Now, yesterday, Amazon sent me a thing. It's $24.99. 1 penny away from being free shipping. I thought that was really kind of kind of them. That's whatever. But $24.99. I hooked into another one for $24.99. It should be here in a few days. And may do another video on it just to see what the display looks like. If it was a defective display, okay. I just don't think it was. But anyway, I'm gonna hang on to it, and I'm gonna keep it. And when I have buyer's remorse, I tend to buy another one. That's what I got into with the the ICOM ICR-75. Sold it. Well, I bought it, and then they discontinued it, and then I thought I could make a pant load of money, so I sold it, and I made a pant load of money. And then absolutely, I was just ill because I sold, in my opinion, the best desktop receiver in the entire universe is the ICOM ICR-75. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care what scientific data you have. I don't care anything. My mind's made up. Don't confuse me with the facts. It is the greatest desktop radio ever invented in the history of the universe. Being a little sarcastic, too. It's a damn good radio. I will say that. And it was so good that I bought another one. And it's kind of like this Mini. It was a good radio. Just, I want something I can see. $24, I'll put up with it. So anyway, I wanted to tell everybody, $24, you can't go wrong there, I don't think. I think it's a buy all day on that one. But I told you I could ramble. Now I can, and I had all this. This speech was thought about well before I even said, hi, everybody. I thought about what I was going to talk about, and I thought, whoa, wait, why don't I do this scan while it's doing nothing and let me chit-chat. And it's found 23 stations already. Kind of nifty. Anyway, yeah, Amazon. Get you a little Eaton Mini. And definitely a cool little shirt pocket radio. Pants pocket, whatever pocket you got. And the ICOM ICR-75 is, it will be the last radio I ever sell. That's how good I think it is. Is it the best on earth or universe? No, probably not. I probably can't afford the best on earth and the universe. But to me, it would be the last radio I probably get rid of. What an amazing, amazing radio. And that's another one that if I ever get a good price, I'll buy a second one just to put it away and hang on to it in case that ever blows up. I wish ICOM would rethink that and start doing those again. But anyway, I think we're almost done. Cooking right along. I don't know if you guys can see the screen. It's very dim. And it's overcast here, but it's just bright enough that I think it's kind of washing the screen out a bit. And we found 25 channels so far, which is kind of cool. And this is actually going longer than I thought it would go. I thought it would be kind of a short video. But these scans, you never know how fast these things chug along. And that was, I think the Eaton Mini was another that had a really fast scan. It a lot faster than some of these. It really impressed me with that. So it'll be good to get that one back, and probably do another video just so we can look at the display of it. And it's very, very cool. What else is coming up? I don't know what's coming up. You know, we're just I could pass the hat now while this finishes up. There'll be a link under the description box where you can click on it and donate through PayPal. And all your donations that you give go to buy radios like this and just to put content onto the channel. I've said probably 140 times already that I have sunk a lot of money in this channel. And if you've been playing along at home and you're a good mathematician, you can just about figure it out. And I can't keep up that pace. Not without contributors, donators, whatever you want to call them. People like you that chip in, whether it's $1, $5, $2, whatever, $10, whatever it is, it's all appreciated. And so we'll pull the plate back in and see what happens with that. And here we go. I think to change, all we have to do, yeah, that's probably the Canadian thingamadoo. Canadian version of WWV, maybe. Little brother stare. RWWV, you can hear it. It's not all bad. And again, not really trying to identify every station that we roll over. I'm just trying to see how well it does. It doesn't do bad. Very similar to the DOV-115. We're only up to 13 channels already. And they're actually strong enough that it picked it up early. There it is. So there's 15 megahertz WWV. So it's strong enough to cover a little bit there. Yeah, we'll keep going. Very, very cool little radio. And like I said, I've sat on it and, you know, it was just one of those, and it was just time to get out and take a look and try to figure out what's good about it. Because it's got enough bad to it to keep it in the box for a year. And we're almost back to the beginning. We're back to the beginning. Very cool. Cough button. One thing we did not look at was the MP3 function of this little guy. It can play, it can record, it can do all kind of magical stuff. These are some sound bites from the non-licensed part of YouTube music library, so we can't get in any trouble by playing this. We can open it up and see it's got a great audio to it. Very, very cool. Hey, that's all I got. I guess I should give this a rating, shouldn't I? I would, outside of... This is a tough one, because medium wave is kind of suck. But, you know, it didn't fail because of manufacturing. It failed because I'm in the United States. Is that the radio's fault? Maybe not. Maybe over in Europe or Asia or someplace, this thing could really perform really well on medium wave. So I got to set that off to the side. FM was stellar. Shortwave, 25 stations, and it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon on an overcast day with hurricanes rambling around all around somewhere. 25 stations, that ain't all bad. We've certainly seen a lot worse. Functionality, a lot of functionality like the DOV-115. MP3 player, voice recorder, also records radio stations. A lot of features here, even though the medium wave is kind of an we could hook a long wire up to this and really get a lot better shortwave performance. Not going to take time to do that today. I don't know. You know, it's not all bad just for the features of it and the price, and I think you can still get them pretty cheap. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm being really generous, but I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Not all bad. Certainly not the complete failure that we have looked at before. But I got it dinging it a little bit for the medium wave and whatnot. And the MP3, the portion it records in. Okay, here's my other little ding. In the record section, this only records at 96 kilobits per second. On the DOV-115, you can go into a menu and you can pick like three different choices. I don't think this is the bottom choice, but I think it's kind of the middle of the road choice, I believe. I can't remember what the TIB-DO can do, but I know you have choices for kilobits per second where this is locked into one speed. So one speed, yeah, kilobits per second, I guess would be a speed. So that's a little bit of a negative. The display is smaller, kind of hard to see compared to the other. Might be a little ding here or there. And outside of that, I can't really think of a whole lot of negative to it. So we'll leave it at 7 out of 10. Hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Hit the little bell icon, subscribe, share, do whatever social people do on social media. Feel free to comment below if you like it, if you think two hands it just sucks, or if you want to try to convince me how identical this is to the TIB-DO 115. I will entertain your humorous thoughts, because it's not. Anyway, I don't know where I'm headed with all that. Leave your comments, all that good stuff. Hope you get out and enjoy the day. If you need a cheap little shortwave radio, this wouldn't be all bad. And especially with the record function on it, that's kind of cool in itself. So, we will see you at the next review.